sir. Hello!
Hello out there, dear listener.
Dear listener, dear viewer. It's just you, Jack, and me tonight as an East Coast takeover.
Indeed. East Coast Takeover, just us, the darkness, and the lists. The lists for the AOS Slow Roll GT, Lost in the Woods, the one we were putting on right now.
And who's putting that on, Jack?
Who's that?
Who
Well, it's
are
me and Matt and the rest of Always Strikes Last, yourself included.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Little
As
preface to
I
this for those
knock
who
out
haven't.
my headphones.
As you knock out your
Hold
headphones.
on, 2 seconds. Hold on,
Gather
technical difficulty. I'm kidding.
Hold the course.
Yeah, I'm back.
Almost capsized there, but what I was saying is for those not yet in the know, the AOS Slow Roll GT is an ITC GT that we run virtually using Tabletop Simulator. And it gives everyone an opportunity to come in and play a full tournament. We've priorly done some RTT level 3-rounders, but this time a 5-rounder across the course of a month or two, based upon the fact that we give folks a reasonable amount of time to arrange a TTS game or in-person games that are so geographically available to get the match in and then post results, and we move on. These have been a great success and a great way for folks in a couple coasts to play together and get to refine their skills. So, and was interested, and this is the first hearing about it, feel free to look it up next time we do one. They're a lot of fun. But this episode is going to be all about the lists brought by our mighty players and some back and forth from Rocco and I and what's going on with them.
Yeah, and our mighty Patreons here have come up with some pretty good lists.
Indeed.
Not gonna lie.
So we'll start at the top and kind of power through it, huh? Sound good, Rocco?
Sure, hit me with the first name.
All right. Of the 24 players we have in the AOS Lost in the Woods Slow Roll GT, first up is Mr. Alex Frias, another co-host.
Never heard of him.
Never heard of him. A new man.
Oh my God.
He's been reborn from his bloody Cornate beginnings in an Ogre Ma Tribes list this time. So let's see what he's got going on.
I'm excited here.
Okay. So list is Fatty Magoo. He titled it. So that's 1990 out of 2,000 points. Mawpath Menaces. It's a 3-drop. Lore of the Maw Magic, the Everwinter Prayers, the Eighth Rod Machineries. The best of the free.
Yep. Everyone's got a ward these days, and those Quicksilver swords really make you wish you had it still.
And that Pendulum, man, the Pendulum's game winning.
And Cogs.
Yeah, Cogs too. Again, the right situation, it's really nice. The fighty wizards just love a Cogs. Love a good Cogs. Make you a -1 to hit. It's nice.
Yeah.
Battle tactics wise, what's he rolling with? He's doing Master of the Paths and Restless Energy.
All right.
And I'll forge ahead with this one, and you take the next, Rocco. But
please,
he's got his General Regiment of Slaughtermaster with gruesome trophies, some Noblars unreinforced, another regiment. Yep, the Noblar is the best. Another regiment with a Butcher with Mage Swallower and it says gruesome trophies again. So it sounds like there's a couple gruesome trophies going on here. We'll see what it says. So shenanigans, calling it right here, but I'm sure it's just a typo. Another Noblars, a Gorger Mobbat, then a third regiment with Bloodbelt Hunter, touched by the Everwinter.
Get some Iron Guts
reinforced, and Ogre Gluttons reinforced, and a Scourge of Guran Iron Blaster, all topped off by a Marpet, the original Sarlacc reimagined for a fantasy universe. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about this list. I mean, the first thing I'm going to notice is I think there might just be some typos in the list that was entered here, because there really just are too many
gruesome
trophies, and too many heroic traits because of the touch by the Everwinter and the Mage Swallower all kicking around at the same time. But I think he's just a typo.
Unless the Mawpath Menaces lets him do something we don't know about.
Maybe that's it. Maybe the Mawpath Menaces is a faction gives you like double heroic traits or double something like that. Let's look that up to make sure that we're not speaking out of turn. Live reference for...
Yes, we're doing it live.
Yeah, exactly.
Ogre Ma Tribe. Okay, I can spell that. Ogre. So probably soggy, greedy eaters. Mawpath Menaces, that is. Roll a dice on a 3 if the target can move a number of each is equal to the roll. Oh, it's like
Oh, that's one of the new ones. It's the soggy one, right? Where it's a little bit of redeploy.
Yep.
Okay, that's pretty cool. I think that's the one I
Gunslinger,
like
Mage Swap.
less.
Okay, hold on
Yeah.
here. Big names are enhancements given to ogre heroes. So what was we had no, those are gruesome trophies. Mage Swallower, Mega Gobbler. Interesting.
Okay. Okay.
So we've got Mage Swallower and the Butcher. Okay. Hmm. Well, we're gonna have to go and honestly probably talk to Alex more and be like, hey man, what happened?
Yeah. You're saying this is a big name. Maybe that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The way this is
Butcher.
particularly oriented is
Touched by the Everwinter is actually a heroic trait that buffs priests. The other thing, gruesome trophies.
taking a peek on this too. Everyone's like listening to our technical difficulties moments here as we
Mm-hmm.
try to figure out.
Yeah, add one to hit rolls so that is an artifact. So that should be the typo. Add one to hit rolls for combat attacks that target heroes or monsters. So that's probably not on the butcher.
Let's see. We were looking at it's gruesome trophies.
Mm-hmm.
Where did you find gruesome trophies?
Under artifacts.
Oh, it is an artifact. Okay,
So
so I
yes,
thought you
it is
said
a
the big
passive.
name,
It is
but
add one to hit rolls for combat attacks that target heroes or monsters. So the butcher never wants to be in combat. That's
no.
just the Slaughtermaster normally doesn't want to be in combat either, but it does have 2d6 stump blades.
That's right. Oh, yeah, he's good for a couple reasons. He creates kind of like an enhancement, I think, for
Yeah,
whenever he
no,
gets
any hero
around.
phase. We got the Great Cauldron here. You can spend one or more
Mhm.
of the grisly remains points you generate throughout people dying near his maw pot, his personal one, to either give out a 5-up ward or +1 to the attacks characteristics of melee weapons.
So
So,
true.
yeah, a really good buff piece that you want probably to go and power up some iron guts here. And
Yeah,
we
I think that's probably it. And the butcher actually about last weekend has an ability where if you're nearby it and you're a foot ogre, you can run and charge because
yeah.
they get hungry, which is kind of huge. Like I played them a bunch in the prior edition. I didn't realize that was a new thing.
Mm-hmm.
But that means that those big iron guts and those big gluttons can get places very quickly when they want to, as long as they stay nearby. And the Scourging
Yes.
around Iron Blaster is pretty scary. It just does like a ton of damage. I
Oh
think like
yeah.
5 damage shots coming off of that thing, and no no joke there. So yeah, solid little list. I mean, it doesn't too crazy. Got some magic, got
Mm-hmm.
that extra little bit of movement, shenanigans. A little easier in the shooting with the gruesome trophies. He's got the
Yep.
run and charge from the big blocks.
And he's
Um,
got screens with Noblars that can do some mortal wounds.
Exactly, and some sneakiness in the Blood-Pilled Hunter, which
Mm-hmm.
is a weird little like kind of monster killer. If you guys haven't run into that, that's
Yeah.
yeah. I mean to kind of go into his war scroll for those who haven't run into it, nothing too crazy. A 6-inch move, an inch of health, 5 control, 5-up save.
Yep.
But this guy has a spear and and a crossbow, so he has some multiple shooting attacks between 12 and 18 inches.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And normally these are like fours and twos or fours and threes with one rand and like a variable damage, like a D6 or a D3. But if he's going after the big game, the Beast Breaker, for monsters, it's the flat 3 to flat 6. So he can sneakily take stuff down if you're not careful.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And can actually just move around an extra 9 inches in the enemy movement phase if he's not near enemy units. Or I should say extra 6, just a free move.
Mm-hmm. I
So
like it.
sticky stuff, good stuff, Alex. I mean, any
Yeah.
thoughts on this one that jump out at you? We haven't really talked about the Gorger Maw Pack. That can be kind of a menace.
It can be. It can be. Again, it's just that the two obvious hammers of the Iron Guts and the Gluttons hit hard. The Iron Blaster shoots well. We're just gonna have to talk to him about which one has the gruesome trophies. But we will go and honestly, again, solid list.
Yeah, I think that's right. So we'll move on from there. So Alex was kicking it off. Next, we have Anthony Bartolone doing some
Anthony
Nighthawk.
Bartolone.
All
Okay.
right,
Let
let's see
me
what we're
go
dealing
find
with.
here. Running the Night Haunt.
The Nighthawk, indeed.
All
Lady
right.
O's Faithful
Faithful
Cavalcade of Death.
Cavalcade of
Well,
Death. I
why don't
got
you
this
take
one.
this one away, Rocco? Yeah,
Yeah, we got some Vanishing Phantasms here. So also, as a note, when you're going to be listening to this, I know there's going to be a new Night Haunt book. Was not legal in time for this event. So this is going to be technically some old Night Haunt tech, but that
Old
is
Haunts.
okay.
Yeah.
Manifestation lore, we got some Phaconic sorceries. My goodness. We got the lore of the underworld. We got battle tactics here. We got scouting force, which is great for Night Haunt because you want to generally have a whole bunch of units. You also have restless energy. They're bringing the Nexus of Grief. And leading it off in the General's Regiment is Lady Olander herself with 20 Dread Scythe Heritance, 20 Dread Scythe Heritance, 8 Pyre Geists, and another reinforced 8 Pyre Geists, followed by another regiment of Alwarok the Drowner, little boat boy, we got the Scriptor Mortis there,
Mhm.
writing out all the prescriptions for death, who also has the ruler of the spectral hosts and the stave of suffering, and 2 units of reinforced Mirmorn Banshees, which is really nice. So, at the end of the day, this might not even this only 6 units that would be able to be scouting units because we didn't go full MSU, but they're very
Mhm.
beefy. Again, this still has the ethereal 4-up save and the 6-up ward to just be tanky and be a pain. And this list, if points stay the same into the new book, where everyone's going to get double the wounds for the dread size, the pyre geist, and the banshees. There, this is going to be scary.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah. I mean, it's an interesting one. I mean, Lady O, you don't see all that often, but it's thematic. I mean, there's a lot of ladies here. We got her. We got the
it
40
is
Herodans. We
all
have
the
the
angry ladies. All right.
yeah, literally only like 17 dude ghosts in this entire list, but this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Now, for those out there who just see Nighthawk, I think it's all just like different spookies with different slightly fitted sheets.
Mm-hmm.
What do you know about this one? What's going to make
So
it tick? What's the thing to fear?
the thing to fear, there's a few things to fear. One is all the auto wound that could come out through this whole army. But part of it too is what these heroes can do. Auroch the Drowner currently has an ability, happens in your own movement phase, passage to the underworlds. If this hero is not in combat, pick a friendly non-hero Night Haunt unit that is not in combat to be the target. Remove this unit and the target unit and set them up again on the battlefield, wholly within 6 inches of each other and more than 7 inches away from all enemies. So our boat boy ends up going around and bringing a big unit of 20 Herodins that have just a blender amount of attacks. I will go and pull that up. It's actually my wife's favorite unit is the
Oh, she's a
Treadside
big
Herodins.
Nighthawk player. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, no. Got second place in a tournament, and she said I placed. I'm retiring on top. But Dread Scythe Herodins have 3 attacks each. They've got a crit auto wound. Their profile at 4s and 4s run 1/1 damage isn't crazy, but what's crazy is the passive of if this unit charged, subtract 1 from wound rolls from attacks made by enemy units while they're in combat with you. Not when they target you, when they're in combat with you. So if you're fighting elves, who'd ever do that?
Hmm.
That wound on 4s normally, they're wounding on 5s, and all of a sudden you're not getting hurt. And they also have the passive Murderous Bloodlust. Add 1 to hit rolls and wound rolls for this unit's combat attacks while it's in combat with any damaged unit.
Oh, that's scary. So that brings it what? So I'm looking at their profile right now.
Mm-hmm.
So normally it's 3 attacks, 4s and 4s, 1/1, crit
Mm-hmm.
auto ones. That's a 3s and 3s. So you're
Yeah, you'll be at 3s and 3s because at a 20 block, that's 61 attacks because they have a unit champ. And you can also, because of that -1 to be wounded,
mhm.
they can wait a second for someone else to hit first to set them off to be 61 attacks, 3s and 3s.
Yep, yep. And there's some range weapons in here from the fire guys. So maybe the idea is just you
Oh,
pick
yeah,
you
Jack.
pick at it, you poke it once. Oh, I did a wound. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
you're bloodied. Now I don't have to even worry about that because what is it, gouts of balefire, 2 shots,
Yep.
4s and 4s. So you get like, 16 shots off of those things.
That again,
Uh
crit auto wound. You
yeah.
just need a couple 6s to go through there. And the Pirate Geist are shooting combat still, which is really nice. And then you add in on top of that, light a pyre, which hold on. You still hear me,
So,
Jack?
yeah, I hear you. I'm looking at this ability too.
Wonderful.
It's a
Yeah, so
funky
roll
one.
a dice on a 2-up, inflict the amount of mortal damage equal to the roll, add a number equal to the roll to this unit's control score. It's at the end of any turn. So you've got different ways of just lighting more people on fire, doing more chip damage, setting up the lovely ladies for success, and then the final big unit are the Banshees. Where the Mirmorn Banshee unit is 2 attacks each, 4s to hit, 3s to wound, -2 rend, D3 damage. Again with the crit auto wound, and they have an ability called Spell Eater. So if a friendly night unit is wholly within 12 inches of the Banshees, it can use an unbind as if it was a wizard. Add 1 to the unbind roll as well, and if you do unbind it, inflict D3 mortal wounds to the caster.
That's fun. So a little dangerous to cast magic to debuff or whatever, do damage to these things because these guys be floating around. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a neat little list. I mean, I guess the only part we haven't talked about, so such a rarity. Not
Lady
that,
O.
as you pointed, yeah, it won't be a little obsolete in a minute or two because of the new book. But for now, Lady O, what you doing? The usual 7 wounds for what 300 points? Yeah, kind of package. But
Yeah.
she does have her
Old girl got a
ward.
4 up. She's one of the few that still have a 4 up ward in this game.
4 of them. Oof. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So her big thing too, not to be slept on, she's got 1 shooting attack that's a crit auto wound as well for D6 damage, -3 rend, 2s on that. For her actual fighting, she's kind of hitty with a crit auto wound, Handmaiden's Claw attack. She's got her staff of D3 damage, but she messes with the control scores of enemy units that are within 12 inches of her. She can use No Rest for the Wicked and heal D3 plus 3 models or health, which is really nice. Um, potentially bring 6 models back per unit in this army, where again, that's a big chunk of the Banshees that could be picked off. There could be again, you live and die in Night Hunt by your 4 up ethereal save, which
mm,
again will change in the book, but you live and die by the ethereal save. And her ability to just be like, cool, they had a good turn. Well, now it's my turn. I'm going to heal everybody back up. You don't have to worry about rallying if they're in combat or not. They're just there. And then you
mhm.
could rally on top of that. It also has a spell Grief Stricken you ignore positive modifiers to hit, wound, and save rolls to the target of the enemy unit for the rest of the turn. Goes off on a 6. So you can make it so that no one can all out attack themselves. No one gets auras of pluses to hit or wound or save. You might as well just turn off most of what you'd spend a command point on
Yeah,
with
no,
her.
I think you're right. This is a fun little list.
It
Definitely a
is.
nice final ride for the old ghosts or the old hunt.
Mm-hmm.
So what do we got left? What do we got after this one? Moving on to the next. I'll take the third one. Oh, it's
Complete.
Benjamin Moley's list.
All
Ben,
right.
very renowned player around here in the Northeast. Won
Mm-hmm.
Northeast Masters last year, I believe.
Rockin' Sylvaneth.
Yep, doing some cool stuff here. Let's take a look at what has got going on here. All right, so it says new Sylvaneth, no Belfanos.
Mm-hmm.
On the nose, good. So we got the War Grove or the Burgeoning.
Okay.
We have another 2 drops with Lord of the Deepwood, Manifestation of Deepwood, Battle Tactics of Intercept and Recover, and Scouting Force. And
Okay.
yeah, let's see what he's got here for the regiment. So the General's Reg, War Song Revenant with
Mm-hmm.
Spell Singer and somebody called Ranu's Lementiri, which we will have to look up. Reinforced unit of Dryads, 2 units of Gossamer, and a reinforced
Oh,
unit
the
of
Soggy Seekers.
Soggy Seekers. Yeah,
They're
that would be
very
interesting.
killy.
A couple Saga things. You have to work to look up this to see how this all works. But we have the second regiment with none other than Drika Hamadrath,
Mm-hmm.
Soggy version.
Yeah.
Some Kurnoth hunters with great bows, then some reinforced spite revenants and some
Okay.
reinforced tree revenants. So
I like this a lot.
yeah, it's a big old chalky thing. Let's take
Yeah.
a look at these sagas to make sure we can speak to what might
Please.
be going on here, because I think that's gonna be
And part of this too is to be able to set up the Warsong Revenant to be able to do all kinds of spells and shenaniganry through trees. We've got good shooting from the Gothamids
Hmm.
that we got Dryads that, again, if they're near trees, they get to debuff enemy units trying to murder them. And we've got a lot of good units for scouting force here because you could still move up those tree revs, the spite revs. Both are reinforced too, by the way, which is really nice to see. So they're going to be very chunky at 2 wounds each. And those Gossmans are just so fast. You can very much
Wow.
set up where you want with this list. Even if there is no neutral ground, you can maneuver and start your scouting force very quickly and then teleport around to steal terrain. And you've got all the movement you want here.
That's true. And also there's some scary stuff in here too, in terms of like the interplay between Miss Drika and
Mm.
those other Sagi spider events or
Yeah.
the Seekers. I mean, looking at Drika's new profile, which I think I'd slip on a bit. Pretty chalky still, 12 health and a 3-up save, though no ward.
Yeah.
But she has these abilities, which are really where I think that the shine is. Melee, it's no shooting attack in this version, just 10 attacks, threes, twos, 2 rend, 2 damage, but 10
Mhm.
attacks. Like
Yeah.
very dangerous in that volume. With
Yes.
crit 2 hits even. So she's rarely gonna get fewer than like 8 or 9 wounds on you. It feels
Yeah.
like with this. So
We love the
scary as anything.
consistency.
Yeah, love the consistency, but that's not even where she gets a little bit crazy. Passive, she has strength from spite. If she
Hmm.
attacks you, you cannot take ward rolls with that. So she is like a bunch of swords herself. This is
Yes.
10 2 damage attacks with a great profile with crit 2 hits. It goes straight through wards. That's
Yep.
just like, write me that ticket for any army I play. Thank you, Draker, for being awesome. She
Hmm.
also has this really spicy ability where if an opponent tries to charge to 18 inches of her, which, a very generous bubble, you
Yes.
can make them pick one of the two. One, they have to subtract D3 from the charge roll or their reroll version of the charge roll. So like right there, no roll,
Mm.
no dice, and it's like a free, maybe you don't make it. With the
Yep.
alternative of them just giving their unit -1 to hit rolls and adding 1 to hit rolls for attacks to target, for the rest of the turn. So you really flip the
Mm.
script on a combat.
Yeah.
And that's just 18 inches. That's
That's a
good
huge
and a little
bubble.
impressive. Yeah.
You can be a very nice forward moving. Like sit her in the middle of the board, you affect the whole table.
Exactly. And she even has a nice little, war scroll spell called Twisted Spirit Song, where she
Hmm.
can pick a unit within 12 of her Sylvaneth buddies and add
Hmm.
1 to wound rolls for the target's combat attacks, including companion weapons.
Oh wow!
Which, yeah, Scourge of
Which
Revenant, Spite Seekers. What's
oh,
this business?
I got this. I got this, Jack. They got 5 health, a four
Mhm.
up save, and not a care in the world because their Scourge Sickles do crit mortals now on this type of profile. It's 3 attacks,
Oh,
threes and
yes.
fours, neg 1 rend, 2 damage. Again, if we get the +1 to rend, that's the curse of the elf gone now. Not to mention the actual mounts being 3 attacks each, fours to hit, threes to wound normally, neg 1 rend, 1 damage. They get a charge bonus of +1 damage. That could be fours to hit, twos to wound. Let's say you all out attack on this whole thing. So then your twos and threes on the riders and threes and twos on the mounts. Whatever you just touched ain't gonna be there to hit you back to take any benefit from it. They
Yeah,
also
it's
still
also a little scary, isn't
it
it?
is. It is. They still have their forest fighters passive to have the 2 inch coherency range. They only go up to a unit of 6, so they get in the good coherency. And in your hero phase, they still get the Lamentary life energies. Where on a 3 up, the target has a 5 up ward save.
They can
And
do
it's
that to
just a
themselves,
friendly
too.
unit,
Mhm.
wholly within 12. That can be themselves.
I'm pretty interested in these. So think about it. There are six models, right? It's one of
Mm-hmm.
those 2 model cavalries. They're going to be like 460 for this, but you get 30 wounds. 30 wounds
Yeah.
at a 4 up, 5 up, but they can make their own 3 up.
Uh-huh.
And just, when they have a 12-inch move and they
Yep.
can use forests or whatever, they can kind of go where they want to go. I'm
Yep.
just loving the idea of these guys rolling in, and you're going to have, presumably, there's no way to get bonus attacks if you get that spell off from Dreka, Ben's going to be looking at, 36 attacks, 17 or a 19, then 18, right? Maybe 37 attacks. Where the
Mm-hmm.
19 have that 3 up, 4 up crit mortal with 2 damage in the more on the on the crit or if it gets through. And the
Mm-hmm.
bugs are on 2 damage too with the other 18 attacks and fours and threes. And if they got that spell off an all out attack, that brings their profile to 2s and 3s for the scourge sickles and 3s and 2s for the mandibles.
It's
That
great.
is really scary for something that could, in theory, still hit and run.
Yeah. Also, let me tell you about Ranu's Lamentary, because that is a soggy artifact here from the Scourge of Ghyran. Sylvaneth representing their home realm. So what you do is you make it unbind. This is a once per turn reaction where an opponent declared a spell ability. You get to make an unbinding roll. This means this could go on a hero that wasn't a wizard. You could just give it to him. And he does have it on a someone that already has it unbind, so now it's got an extra one. Great. You make that unbinding roll. If the roll exceeds the roll for the spell is unbound and the effect is not resolved. Then inflict an amount of mortal damage on the caster equal to the difference between the casting and unbinding roll to a maximum of 6 mortal wounds. So if you've got ways to get bonuses to unbind, which I'm going to double check the war song doesn't have that anymore. It used to. Yeah, it's got subtract. Add 1 to unbinding rolls and banishment rolls while you're wholly within 6 inches of an awakened wildwood.
So right there, you're already doing pretty well with this. That's a fun, spicy
great.
artifact. Yeah,
you're doing great. And also, you still have Unleashed Swarm of Spites. It goes off on a 7. Pick a friendly awakened wildwood tree wholly within 18 of this unit. Pick up to 3 enemy visible units. And then it's roll a d3 for each target. On a 2-up, inflict amount of mortal damage equal to the roll, which is still really nice. At +1 to unbinding, which is really kind of rare in the game now.
Yeah.
They used to give it to dwarves for the hell of it, but no, our lovely elves made of wood, not particularly wood elves, but maybe wood elves if you would, still get it. And yeah, no, this is a very nice list here. It's still a 5-up save, 6-up ward on the wizard, still a little squishy, but 7 wounds. We're still rocking 200 points. You get a lot out of this War Song Revenant.
Yeah.
And again, because of that +1 to unbind that isn't really seen that often, you got a good shot at messing someone up and popping them once per hero face for some mortal wounds, and a lot of wizards are just foot wizards these days trying to get all those extra regiments.
That's true. And there's some fun stuff in here with the Godsmith archers and just some, some chunky stuff from dryads or the
teleporting tree revs.
Teleport around. And, we teleport in tree revs. And we really can't forget that just sort of understated here, there is a min-sized unit of Kurnoth Greatbow Hunters. So they have some range. Sit in the woods and plink you and do some damage. I like this list a lot. I love the double sagas. Like, New Draca is just fun and scary. Just looking at that, to think that she would just come up and erase all your rewards and kill you or mess up your charges or give you like these double bargains. And that alone is going to flip so many games where someone comes in with their hammer. Yeah. And of course they'll be within 18 inches of her. And the thing is just going to be either neutered or it's going to fail their charges and they're going to get whomped by something.
And again, add in the dryads already being -1 to hit and wound if they're near. It's wholly within 6 inches of a tree, an awakened wildwood. So no, you can't stack the -2 to be like, oh, you're -2 to hit, but it's still at the end of the day -1 because of the rule of 1. But it still negates them spending an all-out attack or that aura buff of +1 to hit from off of a hero, and they've got to go through so many more hoops to jump through to hit your stuff that, the humble dryad with a 5-up save all of a sudden becomes a steel iron wall, ironwood wall.
Enough to tank something, and that's all you need when you're just ready to countercharge with a bunch of like scary fern gully bugs.
Yes. Yes, they are, Jack.
Exactly that. I know where this came from. All of these games works up influences. All right, good stuff on that. Love that list, Ben.
All right.
I guess next, moving on down the line is your turn to speak to Kaite's Chill of the Grave, Soulblight Grave Lords. Kaite,
I gotta go find them here. My thing, Kaite. Okay. And if we're saying your name wrong, please, you're in our Discord. You can go and yell at me. It's okay. Captain Nicholson, Mr. Nicholson, I believe, is rocking the Soulblight Grave Lords. It is named 3 inches of Blood Knights. Oh boy.
Nice.
So we're doing 3 drops. We're Bacchanal of Blood. We are rocking Manifestations of the Grave for the Hand of Dagash and all the new fun stuff, the classic lore of Undeath. Battle tactics here: Restless Energy and Wrathful Cycles. All right, for our general, we've got Neferata, Mortarch of Blood. We've got a unit of Astrugan True Blades, Blood Knights. We've got Prince Vordry making a mention here as well with a unit of
Nice.
Min Direwolves. And then a Vengorian Lord with the Shard of Night and Immortal Ego and a unit of Vargeist. We are playing some Hero Hammer here.
Definitely. I thought there'd be more Blood Knights from the
I
name.
thought there'd be more of the totally not Black Knights myself, but you know
Yeah,
what? It says 3 inches of Blood Knight. You know what? You did it.
I guess so.
Wardry is an extremely scary hammer. The Vengorian Lord, again, can easily force multiply and do more than its 220 points, would you'd think. Um, Direwolves are quick. Vargeist, Matt's been talking about them forever.
Mhm.
Um, and they're bringing the new Cursed Sepulchre terrain. Again, we've got a very nice solid list where I want to see more of where we go with this here. And Neferata, I mean, again, they're people. Everyone's got their favorite Mortarch. I know some people that'll say Manfred did nothing wrong. I'm currently wearing their podcast. I'm gonna shout out my friends really quick at Cubic Shenanigans with the Lord of Death there, Brendan Melnick, and all the people. But I think Manfred did a lot wrong. Um, but Neferata, she's all right. She schemes, traditional vampire.
Classic.
Um,
Yeah, yeah.
you got great spellcaster. Restless Energy and Wrathful Cycles with this list. So that's something I want to go and look at maybe a little bit more.
Wrathful Cycles. I mean, Restless Energy is take something your opponent had, then take the objectives in their deployment zone, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then control all the objectives. So good 2 out of 3 most of the time if you're trying to do the battle thing.
Yeah.
If you're lucky.
If you're trying.
Yeah.
And again, Matt's talked on here about Daring Resurgence from Wrathful Cycles being, if you're the underdog, because again, it's very easy to become the underdog with how the points skew. Some people shoot up with battle tactics really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Again, having that as the comeback mechanic is really nice.
And I believe he used that to good effect, right? We're just talking about it for his 4-1 over at the Tacoma Open. He did a lot of that.
Yeah.
With the same battle tactics. So there's some there. So good thinking on this list. Good
Yeah.
say. I think the question is, and I'm just looking at my annoyingly locked app because for some reason my code is resolving right this moment for
Oh, of
the
course.
rules.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can see the shape of this. I mean,
We're
half of
trying
this
to get sponsored by Ghost Energy, not Games Workshop right now, Jack. We got to work on that.
You're right. You're right. We need both. I mean, Ghost Energy would have given us
they would have
for the
paid
night
for it.
output.
I mean, I would have. All right.
Yeah.
Too stupid of a joke not to. Go on, Jack. What do you got?
Lightning quick. Yeah, it's perfect. Be here all week. Try the veal.
Yeah.
Moving on. I think this is good. This is good. I like what I got going on here. I think that there's a lot of moving pieces here that you want. Vargeist are just great harassers. The Vanguards are real popular. Direwolves are just again good to get around and sit and stuff, be screens. And you got the Vordry and the Blood Knights combo, so it's just real fun.
They hit really hard.
Yeah.
What more? And the new zombie dragon model is just gorgeous as well.
Yeah, the shorter mares is really, really neat. So I'm sure they can roll around, do their thing. Probably helped by Neferata's spell. I believe she still has a citrus spell, which makes them sort of unrendable. So that's awesome. All right. Good on that one. And another interesting one. We'll move on
to let's go.
Yeah, Charles Van Ness. Charles.
Oh, Charlie.
Playing a little known faction known as, I think it's Skaven. Is it a Norwegian word?
I know, but you feel like you would know anything about him, Jack. You only let him into your army, as a regiment of renown. This is
like as As a proud Hellsmith of Hashut player, until my models in Battle Tome arrive, as I play many Slaves of Darkness iterations,
I
the
mean, you might
closest
as
I can
well
get to a
be,
gun
man.
is Skaven, so I'll take
You
it.
used Iron Golems before. I've played Iron Golems before.
Yeah.
I know a Chaos Dwarf when I see him.
I've had a dwarf or two in my list, so it's not too
Yeah.
far removed. But yeah, we'll talk about Charles's list, not steal his thunder. So Skaven brand, flat 2000, right on the nose. Oh, I think I know where this is going, and I'm excited. Charles, if
Okay,
you're
hit
listening
me.
to this, thank you for making this cool list just ahead of time. But we are talking about 3-drop, War Ruin, Noxious Prayers, Manifestations of Doom, so the Skaven ones.
Fantastic.
Intercept and Recover for battle tactics, along with Wrathful Cycles.
Okay.
So kind of following the that's what we just talked about, right? Right,
Yeah.
Wrathful Cycles. Okay, so you got to kind of like
the comeback mechanic in it.
Top dog, dog,
Yeah.
you know. So
People did this because we let Matt talk about it so much. I'll be honest, he talked me into it too.
He's a trailblazer. I refuse.
He is. It's in so many of my lists now. And I don't know if it's that. I mean, it's been good to me. You know, hopefully it's good to you too.
I can see the appeal. I mean, total wild side tangent, but that's what we do here.
Dog, I got Alpha top of 1 and lost like 800 points in the process. I needed that.
Yeah,
I needed that.
When you're in the mode, it's a great come back mechanic.
It is.
I just like the short ones. I'm definitely an intercept person, and I certainly enjoy when I can do it. Scouty Force, I find that much more manipulatable for battlefield states. If you don't have the units, Restless Energy is pretty good. I get nervous with Wrathful Cycles, but I see why you guys like it.
Yeah, and again, intercept and recover, we like that.
All right.
And some people might run away with an objective when you're trying to chase him down, but
hey, that's the world we live in.
What's Charles running these days to run people down?
General's Regiment. He's a Visic Scour, the old Prophet Horn Rat, the Master Molder, and a second regiment with a Scourge of Giran, Gracie, and Spear Bell, with Foul Hide and Devious Underling.
Love it.
A reinforced unit of Rat Ogres, another reinforced unit of Rat Ogres, and a Scourge of Giran Brood Terror, a Saga Brood Terror. The usual Nahulls, and then the Regiment of Renown, you get Scarbrand, the exiled one from the Corn Buff. Hot off the presses, yeah. So this is fun. So I can talk a little about this one. By virtue of having had an excellent game with Gareth recently, the first round we had for this GT, very intimately refreshed on some of the Skaven warscrolls. Not all.
Go on.
Yeah. So we'll kind of work backwards. We'll start with the Soggy Bell. The Soggy Bell is just great.
Yeah.
Because it does like a lot of things for you. It can become a Nahul. It's a pretty beastly little fighter in its own regard. And it also can heal, all the stuff nearby, like 13 HR or something like every turn, which is great. D3 heals coming back will keep a lot of the chip damage away. Also, it has a super weird ability for things within 13 inches of it, I believe, where if it's like the first, the third, or the fifth battle round, I believe it's like +2 inches to their movement.
Yeah, it does have
things. Yeah, but if it's the even ones, it's -1 to hit. So you have a massive bubble of -1 to be hit, around the bell. So this is a great thing. Of course, it's got Foul Hides. I think regenerates. I believe that's the one that gives them D3 health back every turn.
Yeah.
Not sure about Devious Underland if you're looking at the warscrolls, Rocco, or the stuff.
I had the Brood Terror up. Hold on, what are we looking at?
The Soggy Brood Terror. That's a spicy meatball.
It really is. Let me just double check here. What was I looking up, Jack?
Well, I was going to say whatever Devious Underling is something I'm not quite remembering.
Devious Underling is a soggy one as well.
Okay.
So we can see it, which is great. Pick a friendly Skaven hero on the battlefield with a health characteristic that equals or exceeds this unit's health characteristic for the rest of the battle. While the target has not been slain, friendly Skaven infantry units have a 6+ ward while they are wholly within 13 of this hero. Once the target has been slain, add 2 to charge rolls for Skaven infantry units while they are wholly within 13 of this
probably
hero.
Throws that on Visit because it's the only real option for it, right? But that's pretty fun. And
Visit's named? So it's does it go on it goes on the bell. Yeah.
It goes on itself. Okay, so I
Yeah,
guess
it
it
goes
gives
on the
a
screaming bell.
that
Yeah, this
makes
goes on
sense.
in the deployment phase for
I
this.
didn't
Pick a
realize you drew
hero.
this self. So there's procs like an I6 up war saves.
Oh,
Lots
no,
of
no,
good stuff.
sorry. No, you're right. You're right. It would go on Visic. It was go on Visic. Visic is the only one that has a. Oh, it's friendly. That equals or exceeds this unit's health characteristic.
Yeah, so you gotta have go a big A for that to even work, but it's
Yeah.
pretty good. And for Visic, if people don't quite remember what the Prophet of Hornrat does, he's a big, Vermin Lord. It seems like there's 16 varieties, or maybe 13.
Mm-hmm.
But
They're
he's a
working on
goodie.
13.
Yeah. So 10-inch move, 15 health, 5 up
Mm-hmm.
save. Nice, set of kind of like attacks. He just kind of has a bunch of vermin fighting for him. 10, 5 up, 5 up, crit out of one, but also an unholy gnarl staff with crit mortal. With
Mm-hmm.
6 4s, 2s, run 1 d6 damage attacks. But
Yep.
he's more of a priest, right? He's not there to fight. He's a priest too, with ward 5 up, doing tons of priestly stuff from that spell lore. And
Mm-hmm.
his abilities are in a combat phase to pick stuff that's fighting him and just do dirty D3 damages on them. To also do something called the Gaze of the Na, where he just picks a unit he's fighting. And then
Mm-hmm.
on a 2 up, either making it so all of their attacks have to fight him,
Mm-hmm.
and subtracting one from hit and wound rolls, from those attacks. It's a pretty great way to just get him involved in the combat and force all the attacks on him and make them ineffective. Like it's amazing in tandem
Yeah.
with some of the other stuff. Uh, and of course, beyond that, he's got some other crazy abilities. He can do a once per battle hero phase, where he can roll the chanty rolls for his unit. You really
Mm-hmm.
want to get
Mm-hmm.
something off.
That's
And
nice.
yeah, exactly. Then he's got a really scary prayer, the Death
Yeah.
Frenzy, which
Yeah.
is it goes off in a whopping 8, so hard to get that one too quickly. But once you pick an enemy unit within 13 of it, or a visible friendly scared entry unit within 13, you make that chanting roll. And for enemies, subtract one from the attacks characteristic, which is huge. For
Mm-hmm.
friendlies, it can use 2 fight abilities, with the usual second being strike
Yep.
last with a turn. And if you get a 12 up, you need 2 targets instead of 1. So that's a nice little scary
Nice.
prayer to always be building up. So Vizic's doing his thing, probably for rat ogres. And of course, rat
Mm-hmm.
ogres we've seen before.
They hit like a truck.
Yeah, big fighties. Even the standard ones still have a warp fire gun, don't forget, which is
Yeah.
6 shots at 2 up, 4 up, 2 damage.
That's
Shoot
still
in
not
combat.
bad.
It's really not bad. With
Yeah.
5 2 damage attacks apiece, and the ability to actually do a little damage themselves just natively and up their attacks to 6. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of like kind of monster mashing here in this list, but the star of the show is still Scarbrand because that is terrifying. Now, for new
Why
Scarbrand,
is he here?
he's just touring the Chaos Realms, I guess. But
Uh-huh. He got
I
thrown out. He's looking for work.
exactly.
He's just surfing on the couch. He's like, yeah, I can help. I can do some shit around the house. It's all right. You take me in.
He can definitely do some work. I mean,
Yeah.
I think he does have built into this regimen now the drawback of still lashing out at stuff nearby him, doing something else to fight. But his warscroll itself is still, well, he's a 3d6 charger,
Yeah.
and he has a bunch of attacks, 2 of which are 8 damage attacks.
Yeah.
I think everything with a crit mortal is it's a pretty scary profile. So if you get him into combat with something, he will probably brutalize it. And he is a 3d6 charging bloodthirster. So
Yeah. And
he
again, if you
doesn't.
can stay out of the range and just shove all your stuff to the other side of the table, there's ways around it.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty more in this list, right? Beyond Scarbrand to do resilient sit on things kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So he's not like the only threat to be focused fired down. So I could totally see how this would work out well for Charles to run that stuff around. So very cool. That's a fun one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Love to see it. Now I guess we're
Yeah.
moving on to the next one. Little known player for our next Dylan Thoreau, current number
Mm-hmm.
1 in the world
Mm-hmm.
ITC champion. So that's
What?
I know our little GT.
Oh my goodness, we're getting some names here. All right, you're gonna love the name of this list. I'm quite certain that the crimes of this guilty land will never be purged away but with blood. I had, as I now think vainly, flattered myself that without very much bloodshed it might be done. 1990 points. Mhm. And
That's
he
so
is
fun.
rocking Cities of Sigmar, Fearless Exemplars. We're doing a 5 drop. We're going crazy. We got John Brown. Love it. That should be who the quote's from.
Yeah, seriously.
Again, I'm a northern boy myself. Love me some John Brown. Steam Tank Commander. That's really funny. Um, in his own regiment, great, love it. We've got Pontifex Zenestra coming back, the soggy version here, the Scourge of Garan that has the updated prayers that are fantastic, including the prayer where she can go and teleport cities units that are humans to her to yoink them out of danger, which is very useful. The next regiment is Callus and Toll and Toll's companions. Again, Callus and Toll are a
Hmm.
fantastic unit to have, even if they're not joining an order army. But we've seen now they've had some points increases. They're still really good in cities. And you get all the heroes that you want to go and give out the orders to buff the cities units when you need them. And then we've got some shenaniganry coming up. So bear with, follow me, camera guy. Regiment 3 is a Field Marshal and Relic Envoy. That's the on foot with a little buddy. A Fusel Major on Ogre Warhawk that can shoot and give stuff +1 to hit. Comes with the Brazier of Holy Flame to bring dudes back to life. Cosmopolitan Leader because we just love a united force.
Hmm.
A reinforced unit of Fusiliers, my man. Reinforced unit of Free Guild Cavaliers. Oh yeah, that's good. The regular ones, not the soggy ones. And then we have for Regiment 4, the Shenanigans, a battle mage. And you'd think I would about to say 3 cannons. I'm not. 3 Free Guild Command Corps because they are tanky still. They do a surprising amount of damage and at 140 points are extremely efficient, even if the sawbones in the unit doesn't heal like in the last edition. This is it moves up. We got a fire base here with the Fusiliers that still do enough damage and shoot really well. We get all the orders we want. The Cavaliers are a great hammer. These are the ones doing the impact mortals as well for some mortal oomph. Um, and Zenestra can also do prayer lawyers to go and hurt other priests and rerolls ones on prayer rolls. It's great. This
She
is
has that scary ability, doesn't she? I think a lot of the hullabaloo about
which
what
one?
Sinestra's doing is her yoink ability.
Oh, the
Is
yoink ability is, like I said before, just fantastic. It is just so to go in specifically here. Um, Also, I'd like to going from her war scroll 9 wounds, control 2, movement 5, save 5. She's got a ward here for a 4-up ward. Again, one of the few. 5 attacks. Combine the profile to be forged and forged 3D damage. Yeah, D3 damage, which is nice. Any hero face, we've got the Word of the God King. Pick an enemy wizard, priest, or manifestation. Roll a dice on a 3-up. If the target is a manifestation, it's just banished. If not, hit him for that much mortal wounds. And that's a dice, not a D3. So that could be up to D6 mortals on a 5 wound foot hero. And just she looks at him and kill. If looks could kill, she gives him the evil eye. Then her prayer is Sigmar's will. It goes off on a 4. Again, you can re-roll on modified ones and you
and
chanting roll.
and she's a priest too,
Yeah.
so
Oh, she's all
it's
priest all the time. Very holy.
terribly unlikely you will not have this prayer go off
Yes.
if you wanted to.
Yeah,
Just
Luther, Huss, eat your heart out. So the effects you can pick one of the following effects. If you got a 10 up, pick 2. You can do Hallowed Ground. Enemy units using the normal move ability cannot end their move within 5 inches of a friendly Cities of Sigmar human unit, while it is wholly within 12 of the priestess here. That is great because then, you could redeploy and get the hell away. Um,
not too bad, not too bad, and that's already like pretty good.
that is
That's
good,
giving
but
you an edge against those charges.
we got 2 more options, Jack. This is great. Fervent
They're
prayers.
probably not good. Why even bother reading them out? Go
I don't know.
ahead.
This one is each time a friendly city's human model is slain by a combat attack, well, it's whole within 12 of this unit. Roll a dice on a 6-up, inflict a mortal back to just do a little mortal wound pinging, which, and if you're going hordes, if you're going flagellants, you going some kind of crazy, just spamming the Free Guild guardsmen there on foot, I went to my homebrew name for my unit, not the actual name of the thing. This is great. But the final thing is the Prayer of Salvation. Pick up to 3 cities of Sigmar human units to be targets. Remove them from the battlefield and set them up again wholly within 12 of this unit, Zenestra, and not in combat. Just not in combat. You can't use a charge ability for the rest of the turn.
Could be
So
3 away, could be 6 away, could be
body
like
block some stuff. Set up on an objective. You're fine. Especially this is really good as well too to reset up your shooting castle as well. Because usually the 3 city units would be like maybe a couple great cannons in the ogre fusilier because that's got a human on there. You know, in this case, it could be the block of fusiliers, the engineer on fusilier, and maybe another hero to buff them that hasn't given an order yet. You know, it's
yeah,
great.
little scary. So this is an interesting list. I mean,
Hmm.
it looks a little bit suspiciously similar to some other lists I know Dylan has run, which are scary and have 5-0 major GTs.
Yeah,
But I will say that one thing which is near and dear to my heart of choice he makes is the continued use of the new graduates of Captain Thoreau's School of Trench Rushing Cadets, which is
I love
officers
that.
who know how to get right up in the front line and fight from there.
Is
They're not
that
expected to survive, but they're expected to lead from the front.
okay? That's great. You know, I'm a big fan of the Forlorn Hope as well. With the idea that's what my Namardi Corps is. It's their Forlorn Hope battalion of you run up and if you survive the initial melee, you get promoted. Cool. So
Everyone thinks they're the leader, but I mean,
yeah,
you know how criminally cool this Free Guild Command Corps unit is, right? Maybe that's a good one to
uh-huh.
expound on for our listeners because if you haven't played against this or seen this
It's
is just like a
great.
thing of beauty.
I love it. I
Uh,
don't know that I would personally ever get 3 of them, but I'd love it for this list so much. And again, also the battle mages act just the cool spells in this too. But go on, Jack. Go on.
sure, not to like go wax over long on this particular nightmare unit, but
Oh please.
these collection of 5 fine officers fighting on the front
Mm-hmm.
have 3 health each,
Yeah.
2 control score each, and a 4-up save just to start out. So really, you're talking like 15 health for 140 points with 10 control score and like a
Mm-hmm.
decent save. And they got some weapons; they can do some damage. Some of them are kind of nothing. If you
Shout
want
out
to
the Enchanted Rapier. Got crit mortals.
exactly,
It's
but
not a 2 to hit, 2 to wound anymore. It's 2s and 4s, but it's still really good. -2
hey,
rend, d6 damage.
they can get right through some stuff. You can't ignore it. And then you still got the Gargolian's
It's
bites and
still
the
D3 damage. I love it.
yeah,
The great
3 of
weapon's still
those.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, then that's some real fights. And it has a couple fun abilities. It's got the spies from the Spy Master where
Hmm.
you pick
It's not
something
as
within
bad as it
12.
used to be. I'm saying it
Mm-hmm.
now. It used to
Oh, it
calm
used to be
down, internet.
oppressive. Used to be
Calm down,
oppressive.
internet.
Yeah. Now you're just like, oh, you pick it within 12, they have to spend additional command point, but that's still amazing economy for just
And
something
it's
which is
got
going to get
3 units, so this is 3 times you can use a once per battle ability.
exactly, exactly. Yeah. And then they can do this thing where, once per battle round, they can pick a friendly to the Sigmar unit was within 12 of it. And
Hmm.
first time they use a redeploy rally or whatever, they can pick another friendly's City Sigmar unit within 12 to do the same thing. So it's basically double command point like economy.
Hmm.
And last but not least, as long as you have the Free Gold Martial Relic Envoy in here, these guys have a 5-up. So they're a 4-up, 5-up, 140 point unit with 10 wounds and a bunch of abilities, which is not unique. So
Hmm.
that is just great.
Yeah.
Also notably, I'm pretty sure that the Holy Brazier, whatever the Warhawk's lugging around, can bring back these models, D3, right?
I'm gonna
Is that
double
right?
check because if it is, I need to go and buy some models real quick.
Yeah.
I was looking at some MCP. I might just drop my deepkin here, but hold on. Don't tell them I said that. Pick a D3 slain model, son of a bitch.
Yep. So, you will get between 3 and 9 wounds back in one of these. And they can always just you take some licks, retreat out, and get a bunch of stuff back, and to be sitting there 3 inches away without even using Sinestra's prayer. But you can also
Yeah.
do that. So there's some cool play in this list, and I know that Dylan is a pilot supreme with all of it, obviously. So like it's probably a real pleasure to see him put it to work.
And a John Brown fan. We love
Yeah,
that.
John Brown. I mean, Raid on Harper's Ferry is real here.
Uh-huh. Sweet in Kansas, my guy. All
All
right.
right.
Anyway, before
Onwards.
before someone figures out that we're all Yankees here, shout out Michigan. You're one of us too. Is that why they like us there? I don't know.
Maybe.
What's the next list, Jack?
All right. So next we got Eddie.
Eddie, I love Eddie.
Another friend of the channel, another Patreon, another finely tuned, excellent player from the region over here in the East. He's doing Idith Deepkin as he is wont to do. And what is he running? It's a new IDK. So it's not old IDK, it's new IDK, as of course it would be. Yeah. 3 drops. Akalian Beastmasters. Lower the Deeps. Manifestation lowers Lower the Abyss. Battle tactics are Intercept and Recover and Restless Energy.
Yeah.
So let's read it out. So we got the new Eidolon, the Mathland, Aspect Sea. General, Endless Sea Storm, Life Kelpopod.
Yeah, then you have Life Kelpopod for the healing for all the cavalry. We love that.
Yeah, not too bad on that.
Endless Sea Storm, Eddie. Okay, hold on.
All right. You know more about this one than I do as a fellow Idneth player.
I do, and I already have my book out, so this is very exciting for me.
Right. You get it up. I'll read out the rest of the list. You'll have a good mental picture that we can kind of dive into it.
Yeah,
He's got an Alopex, the Razor Shell Harpoon. He's got the Leviathan, as one does, his own Shelley. Then 2 units of reinforced Morsar Guard. Then another regiment with Mathala, the Oracle of the Abyss. And another regiment with the Icon of the Storm, which are some of the new things, right? The Abyss Lady who summons the water elemental, or whatever you guys call it. Yep. And then
the new. Sorry, I got really excited about some of this. Which water element? Are you talking about the Eidolon or the new incarnate there?
The new incarnate for sure.
Yeah, no, it's primed and sitting on my table right behind me. It's great in the faction terrain, and given that there's Sylvaneth abound here, and they're making a push for every army to have faction terrain, it's actually really nice.
It's pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
You talk about this one. I mean, I haven't had a chance to read the new books. You probably know more about it than I do.
Oh, I do. No, Eddie and I, we messaged each other basically the same list. We're like, oh, hey, let's see what we're going to play in the thing. So again, the Caster Eidolon, the Endless Sea Storm is a once per battle ability in the hero phase. If this unit is a wizard that it's on, add 1 to its power level. In addition, add 2 to the next casting or banishment roll for it this turn, which is great. If you really need to go and get a spell off, that gives +3 casting to the Sea Eidolon. Also, if it wasn't a wizard you put it on, they get to be a wizard for the turn. Which is really nice.
Yeah.
Again, if you really need that +3 to cast because something is crazy, if you want to do our counter current spell, you want to make sure you get a teleport off. There's for how rare a plus to unbind is, it's fantastic to go and make sure you get the setup you need. The Life Kelpopod, again, it heals cavalry units in range D3, which is the Alopex. It's the Morsar Guard here, which is
that's great. Is that like an every turn thing or like a once a game thing?
Oh, no, that's in every turn. Hold on, let me
nice.
Pull it up here to officially read it. Life Kelpopod. Any movement phase. That's mine, that's yours. We're healing. Heal D3 to each friendly Deepian Cav unit within this unit's combat range. And there are going to be times where, again, someone's going to alpha strike you. You're going to be healing stuff back. You're going to be rallying stuff. You're going to be doing all kinds of things. That healing is fantastic and will save you command points on trying to save your stuff. Because the Morsar Guard and the Shark have a 4-up save. Is rough out here with all-out defense only being for 1 unit now.
That's a little scary.
But also, if someone's trying to soften you up with chip damage, this will heal that chip damage very well. The Razor Shell Harpoon is anti-monster tech. I'm a very big fan of that because you're going to see some... With all the obscuring terrain, it doesn't work against big old monsters and things with flying. If someone's walking around with a zombie dragon, you want to go and put 2 between the eyes there. Double tap it like it's zombie land. And more shots, the better. And the Alapexes are still great in combat. We love a turtle. Love my beloved Shelly baby girl. Gives out the ward for all the Morsars and the Alapex to try to stay alive. For the new stuff, Methala, Oracle of the Abyss. Again, I was on the Combat Phase podcast where I talked all about Deep and did a deep dive. Go and listen to us there. Where Mathalia is, I call her math. She's a force multiplier. It's great. What she does, or what they do, even is because it's a Gestalt consciousness, because that's all Deepkin is. We're all just thoughts and a bajillion bodies screaming at once.
Yes.
And if you don't like tragic elves, get out. So what maths does is they have an ability where they pick up to 3 units within 12 inches of them, all within 12, and give +1 attacks to companion weapons. So, yeah, Jack, that's the D3 damage attack on the eels, or the -2 ren 2 damage bite on the shark, or the -2 ren 3 damage on the turtle.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Also, great spell too, to do up to potentially 10 mortal wounds onto it. You pick an enemy unit, usually a hero or a monster, and you can go up to 10 dice. It's off of their health characteristic. You roll that many dice, and a 4-up you do immortal. In my games with her so far, I've used her to kill foot heroes pretty reliably after a couple castings of that. It's a 1-cast wizard, but still very nice.
Nice.
Has a ward save. The turtles is better. You're a little danger close, but the thing is, all the other stuff is so much more scary at face value. You need to kill it, because if you kill my 160 point foot hero, all the other stuff is going to eat you.
So, like, she gets ignored by virtue of target priority. That's pretty fun. And she's the one who summons the
So either wizard can do it. Narratively, yes. That is the Oracle of the Abyss's actual purpose now, is that they're the one that guarded the lantern that Marathi stole to become a god. And now they're the ones that are like, hey, the only way that Deepkin are going to live through this era of war is if we empty the Corelliums that have all their souls and summon sea monsters to go and murder people for us, because there just ain't enough of us. She also has a cute little short story blurb about a potential Namardi, not revolution, but them becoming more accepted in Deepkin society and just being like, we're gonna rise up if you're with me.
That's interesting. Okay,
it is. And the final regiment here, the Icon of the Storm.
Is the Icon of the Storm, like, I don't know, he's like the squire of like the big ones, like the
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So the Icon of the Storm is an assassin that rides out and is very melee heavy, 7 attacks, 3s to hit, 4s to wound, ren 1, 2 damage. I chose the Icon of the Sea, which is a similar profile. It's got charge damage, less attacks. What the Icon of the Storm does is it can fight twice. Second time is the strikes last. This is once per battle. But as its passive, this unit stops enemy units from retreating while they're in combat with it.
That's an amazing tech ability. Okay, I see why it's in here now. That's really cool.
And friendly units that use a retreat ability while they are wholly within 12 inches of the Icon of the Storm can still shoot and charge later in the turn. So that, as I pointed out on the show, and I've argued with myself ever since my list, used to be one of the tides that we have now lost as a Deepkin player, and it's just on the dude. And everyone's so into the Icon of the Sea, where it gives out a 3d6 charge, which is cool, it's flashy, it's great. You can alpha people, that's fantastic. The thing is, friendly units that use a retreat ability that can do all that also could be this dude. Because he's a friendly unit that can retreat and charge, which is really helpful. You still take the damage. That's unfortunate.
He's a little squishy, I bet, as a 120-point hero.
So it's 6 health, 4-up save. So we are squishy. We're an elven assassin that goes in and tries to slice people up.
Super squishy. Okay, very
squishy. What you want this guy to do here, this Icon of the Storm, the whole idea is this is Also, the idea of the icons is they are the sole survivors of an enclave of Deepkin that got wiped out, and they want revenge, and they're going off on
Hmm.
a murder spree before they die to avenge everyone they can. What you want is for this to hang out near your turtle as well to get the ward save aura off of the turtle until you're ready to go strike and murder whatever comes your way.
That makes sense. Well, let's. I think
And
we have
again,
a pretty good sense of this one.
yeah, no, and again, you fight twice. It's 14 attacks, three's to hit, four is to wound, Ren 1/2 damage. That'll kill something.
Yeah, this is pretty neat. Okay, so some fun use of the new stuff, some neat tech, and definitely,
Yep.
you know, an interesting one.
The endless the new manifestation can
Hmm.
stop units from issuing orders. Um, again, we're using some good things here with the life count pod as well to heal all the stuff up because the historic weakness for Deepkin is that we hate mortal wounds and we're really more elite than it looks like. And healing back constantly is just fantastic. And it's such a nice change that it is so viable versus having to take the armor of the Sithai and try and having to the things that now are like 20 extra points for us to take. We have more options.
Which is nice. It's good to see some of this stuff rolling out. I think one of the fun things about this GT
Mhm.
is we're seeing some really interesting lists.
We
We're
are.
seeing the new stuff trotted out because, of course, we started it right after the corn and the new item book became legal. So
Yeah.
we're not like totally locked in the past. And this is fun.
It is.
You know
It
what?
was nice.
I'll take the next two and you do the
Okay.
three after that because I think
Okay.
it'll give us a good quorum for the first half of our list review.
Love it.
Leave our folks in suspense for the next one.
Yeah.
Next up is Gareth Walker with his Skaven, and I had the pleasure of playing Gareth's list, so I do know this one
Oh
pretty
yeah.
well. And Gareth was running Skaven with Gathered into Clans, the 2-drop, Lore
Mm-hmm.
of Ruin, Noxious Prayers, Aether Out Machineries, Restless Energy, and Master of the Paths. And his list, I think, is actually really cool. So I want to kind of
Yeah.
wax poetic about it. It's the Scourge of Giran, Gracier and Screaming Bell, we've already spoken about, the Soggy one,
Uh-huh.
then a
Yeah.
unit of Min Clan Rats, then two Soggy Brood Terrors, and a unit of
Yeah.
Warplock Jazales, followed by a second regiment with a Verminlord Deceiver with both the Foul Hide and Scurry Away,
Dear God,
as
man.
well as Clan Rats again, as well as another Soggy Brood Terror again, as well as the Warplock Jazales again.
Yeah.
So this is just an awesome list in my mind. So of course, normal Skaven fun, but big highlights, to kind of think about with this is you got a little bit of pew pew shooting. You got the two units of Jazales, but they're men, right? They can sit there, they can shoot, they get some damage, they can be regenerated. If things go away and they want to use a CPU with the Nahul ability.
Sure, sure.
He's got three Saga Brute Terrors, and these
Keep
things have
talking.
their
I'll
own
be right
regeneration
back.
ability. But we're waiting for Rocco to come back, so we'll talk a little bit about this, while he's off in the ether. I'll tell you guys all about the Saga Brute Terror, because I think that's something that you all need to know about if you're going to see a Skaven on the battlefield. This is maybe just like the perfect, I guess, like expression of the Molder art, maybe. I mean, they really have done themselves this time because these things just do it all. And I guess it's like meant to be a master molder who's fueled himself with maybe a few too many warpstone tablets and has gotten himself melded into his own creations. I'm not misremembering the fluff, but man, all three of these guys did a good job because the Soggy Giran Brutair has got some good stuff. He's a 12 health monster. Move 6 is a 5-up save, but he also comes back to 5-up ward save. And he's got some abilities. For one, he regenerates, so he gets natural D6 heal at the end of any turn. And he can also use a Lend a Claw ability to kind of pick some other non-Skyer Molder units nearby and take away one of his attacks from his Little Blade limbs to give a +1 to hit rolls for their attacks rest of the face, including companion weapons. So if a couple of these guys are near each other and one of them's not fighting, one of them can drop an attack to give a free all-out attack without drawback to the other one, which is good because in the fighting lands, these guys have 5 crit mortal attacks, which are 4 ups, 2 ups natively, Rend 2 and 3 damage, and then 5 loosely attached blade limb attacks, which are 4 up, 4 up, Rend 1, 2 damage. So a lot of damage potential just sitting on these guys. But that alone would be cool with some resilience. But I think the reason people like these is they have Warp Flame Scourgers, which are 15-inch shooting weapons where you have 2d6 shots with anti-infantry 1 and crit auto wound, which are hitting on 4s, wounding on 2s, and doing D3 damage at Rend 1. So that's pretty variable, but that could be a lot of damage, and it can definitely give you some threat protection off these monsters, which won't evaporate to a stiff breeze like the Giselle necessarily will. So right here in this particular list, he's got 3 of those, and they're healing themselves and healing off the bell. And of course, on an inconvenient battle round, they're either moving a little bit farther to have more threat projection for their shooting, or they're -1 to be hit. So kind of a scary castle in that way. The other piece of this, which is pretty fun, is the Verminlord Deceiver, which I thought was just an awesome combo because Gareth was running this guy with the Foulhide and Scurry Away. So it's the big ninja rat. It's fighting you. It can throw some ninja stars. It can do some damage. But if it doesn't like the fight it's in, on a 3-up, it can just run away. Or on a 4-up, it can poof and re-engage in combat kind of anywhere with an enemy unit within 13 inches. So there's something like 12 inches away, they can pop in to fight. It can get quite far across the board quite quickly. And in the combination with Scurry Away, it can poof from wherever it is into combat, then retreat from that combat without really any drawback. And that's a 4-up and a 3-up, but it also means that you can't meaningfully engage this thing without playing a dice game with yourself. And in my game with Gareth, had a chance to experience this person, which was like a lot of fun. But watching that guy make it probably around the board like almost entirely as a course of the game gave me a huge amount of respect for how very much on the nose this particular model was with theme and how effective it is if you don't have like a lot of dedicated shooting or impact mortals or something like that. So that is Gareth's list, and quite a cool one. I think it's neat to see that many Sagas running around. All I can say is that they are intimidating because 1 alone feels manageable, 3 less so.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. While
You're still talking Gareth?
Yeah, I just kind of walked through the Sagas, for the big things, how good they are. I'll revisit that for a second, because I know you were grabbing those headphones, Rocco. But these things are just so intimidating because they're good in combat.
They heal.
Can take some wounds. They heal. Each of these is healing 1d6 and 1d3 every turn near the bell. And if that wasn't enough, maybe even having the -1 to hit from the bell. These things are pumping out like 2d6 pretty significant shots from their like hand flamer cannons.
Yeah, so, anti-infantry there.
Yeah, anti-infantry crit auto wound. I think Rend 1 D3 damage. So you can get a 3 or you get a 9. It'll melt a lot of stuff in the game, and 3 of them being able to move 6 to 8 and then fire 15 inches.
The chain flail being crit mortals on 3 damage. That's great.
Yeah, it's not often you charge the fire base and they crit mortal you for 3 damage with their chain flail. So yes, I love this list, and I kind of what
it's 15-inch range on the flamer.
Yeah, if it was like 12 or 9 or 10, like it would feel a bit more manageable. But it's 15 inches. These things can flaminate quite a lot. If you give them a chance. Luckily, we're in soggy land.
This does more than my turtle.
Well, your turtle is also
500 points.
Yeah, so someone strapped like a harpoon on the back of that guy from.
No, it does more shooting than my turtle on average. Right. That's crazy.
I know they're terrifying.
Wow, this thing is great. The 5-up save is, but
when I was playing this game with Gareth, like I credit like my MVP to being the undergrowth. And the fact we're in like Obscurian Saga land, because I had all of my Myrmidons hide in the underbrush, just watching the Agent Orange like evaporate. All the air cover they had. It wasn't very good, but it was.
We're gonna get all the good American War references here, boy.
Well, we started with John Brown to keep going, so it's
good. Now we're in Nam.
Cool. Now we're Nam, but awesome list. Personal experience with it, very fun to play against, very cool. I guess we'll move on to the next one. The next one, that's why I chose, me to talk about it. It's me. It's
Go
me.
on.
All right, I made a total meta pick on this one for my Slaves to Darkness list. And this is a list called Hero Hammer and Mad Cow Disease, exclamation point, and at risk of the pun, I didn't put it down. It's Stone Cold Murderers. Just get ready for this. So I'm running the Champions of Chaos sub-faction, Slaves to Darkness. Got 4 auxiliaries in this list, so I'm a cool 9 drop.
Jesus.
Yeah, I know. Dare to be different. With my 8th route machineries, intercept and recover, and restless energy.
Love it.
And for this one, in my General's Reg, I have Giran Sagi Abraxia. And I have a Mind Stealer's Phalanx. I also have another regiment with just Gunnerbrand and his buddies. So him, his daughter, and the 3 Oathsworn kin, one of whom is a wizard. Then I
want a close up on my face with my own camera as I read the list. Chow.
I know. I outdid myself this time, but I am enjoying this. I'm enjoying the experience and the ride.
Yeah.
3rd Regiment, we got an Ogroid Myrmidon with a Varanite Shackle.
Is that the first Ogroid Myrmidon?
The first of several Ogroid Myrmidons, yes. But he has an artifact.
A theme for later.
It's a theme for later. Then I got 1 unit of Ogroid Therodons, reinforced with a Dread Banner.
The thing I thought you were spamming. Yeah, go on.
Yeah. Then we got a few other things. The 3rd Regiment's another Ogroid.
Wait, what's the Dread Banner do again for those at home that don't know?
The Dread Banner shuts off your ability to use command abilities if you're in combat with the unit. So no power through, no all defense, no all attack, no anything else cheeky.
Power through is so good, and I wish I remembered it was a thing in my last game. I would have won.
It's honestly like the secret technique in so many situations that makes a difference.
It really is.
Yep. Yeah, don't forget that, dear listener. If you have a big monster, you want to go whammo on something and don't want the clap back, just power through and run away.
No, I'm going to tell you a story real quick. Let's say you're a 6-wound hero that had 5 3-damage attacks and needed to kill 1 unit of a prosecutor. And you roll 4 1s to hit, and only 1 gets through, and it's only Ren 1, so it goes to a 4-up save, and they make it. And you're like, damn. I really am stuck here and screwed if I am in combat with this guy. And I had a command point, and I had spent it on all that attack to hit on 2s. And you notice all the 1s I said I rolled. If I was smart, I would have powered through because I do D3 damage.
D3 damage
when I leave.
Full move, yeah.
And I'd get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, and then
power through is amazing. Remember that.
It's real good, and anecdotally, just because we're on power through and we are a competitive Warhammer podcast, so it's good to call these things out. Like,
I need to put up sticky notes everywhere to remind me.
It's a sticky note for everybody. Like, do you have a big heavy monster that came in and whack? Like, do you have a bloodthirster? If your bloodthirster run in, like, do some damage, will he or it or whatever she be killed by the clapback? Could you fly away 12 inches and ignore that problem?
Yeah.
Do that for a command point. It's amazing.
Yeah. Get out.
Jeremy, who we're going to have as a guest sometime, pulled that on me and really reminded me how powerful that is with a bloodthirster.
Yeah. All right, continue.
All right, continuing on. So we've gotten through Regiment 3 with the Ogroid Myrmidon, the Deathmonger. So he's the one that can fight twice once again.
2 Myrmidon count for now.
2 Myrmidon count. And then I got my last full legit regiment is the Nurgle's Gift, the Regiment Renown. So they're Nurglings that came out with some bad pork or whatever. Yeah, they burst out of the guts at some point when someone dies. 2 units of 3. And then I have 4 auxiliary units. The first one is a Myrmidon. The second one is a Myrmidon. The third one is a Myrmidon.
Wait, Jack, what's the 4th one?
It's an Ogroid Myrmidon. I know. So real fun. Did bring the Nexus Chaotica, though I find that debatable in this list at times, but it's fun. And the whole deal with this one is to have Sagi Abraxia run around and be menace and flip objectives and provide some some color to that. Maybe grant extra rend if she's near something that's fighting on objective.
Sure.
The Mind Stealer's Phalanx can help give strikes last to things near either the big block of Therodons or clusters of heroes. If you guys have ever encountered that, it's a beat your control score and then your strike last if you're near combat phase. And then the real special sauce outside of the Therodons themselves, right, who fight and hit hard, once in a while, is all the Myrmidons. And the fun thing about Myrmidons is they start at 6 attacks, which, they do have like one spirit if they're arranged. 8 wounds, 4 up save, not much else. But if they take some damage and don't die, they get angry. Plus 2 attacks.
Don't like me when I'm angry.
No, so you're up to 8 attacks. If you're in the sub-faction for Champions of Chaos, all the non-uniques just get plus 2 all the time. So these guys are either 8 attacks or 10 attacks. And in combat, it's anti-monster run 1 additional normal run 1. And then it's 3s and 2s, 3 damage. So each of these is between 8 and 10, 3 damage.
Why are you hitting like Chosen with this?
Each of these is a crazy little glass hammer that can just like eradicate things. With anti-monster, they're round 2 against monsters, right? Or if they're near Abraxia and fighting the right circumstance, it'd be round 2 or 3 against anything. Okay. They're real fun. And of course, you can mark them. So maybe one of them is a Nurgle and is getting a 5 up ward save because of the Varanite Shackle round to 6 up. Maybe one of them is a teleporting, each one because you need to go across the building and do something. Maybe one is a 3d6, take the best 2 charge in Slanesh one, which has come up and worked out for me more than once so far. Yeah. Just old corn stuff. And it is a lot of fun.
Good old corn.
Yeah.
Just kill stuff.
Yeah. So, this list is fun, but it's me being weird. So far it's worked out, but
I don't think you're being that weird with this. It's the same principle of like the Fire Slayers having a bajillion foot heroes running around and murdering. It's the same idea, and it still works.
It's true. It's more relevant this GHB than it has been before. I can't claim that I'm too special and unique. I think that the big difference maker here is just that it's not the Gore Chosen, thing from like Khorne, and it's probably not as like on the nose efficient as what Mason was doing, which is just so fun. What they call the Death Masters.
Oh, the Giant Rat. Yeah, but I feel like it's still, the Slaves to Darkness version of it, which is great. It's a slept on sometimes hero, especially compared to like what you're doing with how many of them are coming out. And I feel like if you get the 10 attacks that are 3 damage each, again, you're hitting like a unit of Chosen for cheap.
And that's honestly what's so fun about it. I mean, not to spill all the tea on the secret sauce, but if you come and you attack 1 to 3 of these near Kitty Cat, well, you get strikes last, and then there's like 33 damage attacks coming at you sometimes, or 24.
Yeah, and if you shot them that turn to soften them up and they're wounded, does that trigger your thing too? Or?
No, unfortunately that doesn't. I mean, their 2 abilities are either like, do like the chain attack with a free all attack for regular Therodons, or just, if they're angry, get that. But there are ways to try to ensure you have it. And sometimes a little chip damages do it for you. In a pinch, you can use a place of power to do damage to yourself on a 1 and then just sort of like go Super Saiyan that way. But even without it, because you have 8 attacks, like in the worst case scenario of full health, 8 attacks is still enough to do a lot to many things.
I mean, if units nowadays are doing between 10 to 20 damage and calling themselves a hammer, you gotta like really commit to killing one of these heroes. You can't split attacks anymore
And that's the thing which will sometimes get people, because you'll be fighting maybe 1 or 2 of these, and they'll be floating near a very generous 12-inch banner, 12-inch aura from the Varanite Shackle Myrmidon, who tends to be a little bit more retiring. Well, not all of them have a 6 up ward save. Or if they're Nurgle, they have a 5 up ward save.
And there you go.
Yeah, it's not everything. If you all defense, you do get the 3 up. So all it takes is like, I almost did it. I chewed off 6 or 7 wounds, and they still do they get all their points back on things. The best scenario is someone splits their attacks, and there's 4 and 3 wounds, or 4 or 5 wounds on 2 different Myrmidons, and they have their day in the sun, because then they kill whatever that is, and one of them rallies, or one of them goes and hides in obscurity and it heals next turn. It's wonderful.
That's great. All right.
Yeah, so that's me. So that's little fun day in the sun, and I'd be remiss if I didn't sort of make sure to close out the fact that it is Nurgle's gift. And if no one's played this amazing Regiment Renown, this is the one where you kill something and it says, I don't feel so good. And like, the alien chest ripper, erupts, and it's a bunch of Nurgles. Yeah. So it starts off at a 5 up, but it gets progressively easier until it's basically guaranteed. The more of your units die,
Love
which
that.
is easy when you have a lot of units. And
Yeah.
you just measure from the thing that's about to die, and within
Especially with
6
things with
inches.
scouting force, Jack.
I
No,
know, I
wait,
know. It's so
wait.
fun. It's so fun.
That's the one people are playing like the most recently. Oh no.
It has single-handedly frustrated some scouting force efforts because of how annoying this is. All you got to do is get them in combat, but it's multi-use. It's get them in combat to block something, to tie something up, to keep an objective. Sometimes it's to stop a power through because they're four wound Nurglings, so like most
Yeah.
cavalry can't. Sometimes it's to
Oh,
pop 6 inches behind where the thing died because it was lurking somewhere weird and catch
yeah.
like a wizard or a vulnerable character in combat and then they die. So there's like a lot of play because these Nurglings aren't very good at combat, but they are 15 attacks with crit auto wound. So
Yeah.
that sometimes does it.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Goodness.
that's these. So mad cow disease.
All right. Love it.
And onwards to
Jameson Alcorn?
Jameson, yeah.
Yeah.
Jameson, Jeremy, and John Rocco. And then
Oh
we'll
my
call this one
God.
for today.
Well, starting with Jameson here. Uh list name. Yeah, man, I don't know. Playing Seraphon here, the Eternal Star Host. Bringing three jobs. We got the usual primal jungles, lore of the primal jungles. We got primal energy as the manifestation lore, bringing out the jaws. We've
Mm-hmm.
got restless energy and scouting force. General's regiment here is Lord Croak, because I don't know if there's ever been a. I know there's been times Croak's been bad, but I feel like he's never really been bad, and he's kind of on an upswing lately. We got a Bastiladon with the Arc of Sotek. We've got a unit of Raptidon Chargers and 2 units of Raptidon Hunters, so they can go and work
Mm-hmm.
together. The next regiment is the Scourge of Gyran, Saurus Old Blood on Carnosaur for 340 points. That is just so killy. It's amazing. You get the full T Rex experience with this. It's
Mm-hmm.
great. And then a unit of unreinforced Agrodon Lancers. And then the next regiment is a Skink Scar Priest that Crow could cast through if things get crazy. And a unit of Kraxagor Warspawn. And very nice list. They bring the Realm Shaper for an extra 20 points. I don't know why they're paying for their faction terrain, but put the priest with the terrain. Life is good. This
Mm-hmm.
again, it's a very nice list. We've got a bunch of quick moving things in the Raptidons, the Agrodons, who almost always make their points back, and that Carnosaur hits like a fucking freight train when you can set that sucker up right.
Oh,
Uh,
absolutely. And I think he typoed his list, but I'm pretty sure that Old
well,
Blood does have some artifacts and traits, and you can make
oh,
that thing
sure, yeah,
ethereal,
no,
which
it's
is
not
fun.
listed on here. I'm sure. Again, yeah, man, I don't know. Uh, to quote quote
Good to quote the
Jameson
list.
himself. Yeah, we've definitely talked with and done that since then. Um, yeah, yeah, it's a great list. Seraphon it always seems to be good. Um, Ever since it actually got its first real book in second edition, there's always been something good in this.
Oh, it's
Agri
true.
Agrodons are just fantastic. They're more tanky than you think too when you think about it.
It's true. I mean, they got like that
Like
annoying.
they're a bunch of wounds.
Yeah, well, they're a bunch of wounds, and if you don't kill them when they fight, they get progressively stronger, and they can run
Yep.
around, and even one's a danger.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're scary. And you're right about Lord Croak. Like he's still a menace, even with
Mhm.
all the obscuring, like kind of denying him all the targets he'd want. Just being able to
Yeah.
reach out and do like a cajillion mortals to things within like
Mhm.
his range with blockers is pretty scary. So coolest, I could see how he'd have like the plan here with the scouting force versus energy,
Yeah.
especially all the calves. So you can kind
Oh
of
yeah.
score
Nice.
points and do stuff. A
And
lot
I'd
of
like
stuff.
to point out with the Agrodon there because they have a rage mechanic. For
Mm-hmm.
each, if the unit used any fight abilities this turn, place a rage token to it to a maximum of 3. If it didn't fight, remove all the rages. So what it does is the end of any turn, you get to add 1 to the attacks characteristic of companion weapons for each rage token. So that can bring the Agrodon mounts themselves up to 6 attacks, 4s to hit, 3s to wounds, neg 2 Ren 2 damage. The riders have an anti-monster for extra ren. They've got charge for extra damage. Agrodon's 5 health. and a 4-up save. Very killy. And you're going on with Croak too, because Croak has a war scroll. What do we got? A Gaze of Croak here. We got the barrier, the Azerite barrier for crit mortals. But what do we got here? Arcane Vessel, pick a skink wizard and cast through that, which is great. It gives you, with the obscuring and stuff, you can put that little skink somewhere else to get eyes on something. That can be very nice. The Dead for Innumerable Ages is still amazing to, try to heal at the end of any turn or immediately poof. The passive to add 2 to casting rolls and 1 to unbinding rolls and banishment rolls is great, again, with how rare it is. And the Celestial Deliverance spell, which is pick up to 3 different visible enemy units within 18 inches of Croak. It goes off on a 7 natively, which really is a 5. Because of the bonuses, and inflict D3 mortal wounds to each target. And it's one of the few spells that can go and deal repeatedly with a bunch of foot heroes, which is one of Jack's one weaknesses. But
indeed, what I don't like to see.
But between that and the spell lore, which was there's 2. So which one did I say that he had? I think I said Lore of the Jungles. I'm gonna double check.
Lore of the Primal Jungles. That's right.
Lore of the Primal. Look at me go. So that is empower Celestite weapons, where you can pick a friendly Saurus unit and add extra Ren to the melee weapons. Lighted Show Tech, which is a heal, and then the earth trembles, and you draw a line between the. You pick a point within 18 inches of the caster, draw a line up to that point for each unit, friendly and enemy. Do on a 2-up, do D3 mortal wounds to that unit. So that could be another way to go, and goes off on an 8, which for Croak is a 6. You can do a lot of really nice damage with that. Yeah, you can really target out a bunch of good heroes with that. That is very interesting. I like it. I like it.
I think there's something to that. It's honestly like pretty cool.
There is, and it's got that old school. I'm not even in my camera, guys. Leaning down, reading. It's got that old school Seraphon vibe of Croak being the master caster, lizard wizard, running around there. The Bastillodon with the Arcosotech doing mortal wounds is great. We love the Chargers and the Hunters working together. This is Warspawn are still killy, but this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, it's not a lot of units for scouting force, but because the Raptidons are just so quick that it will get the job done really well.
Right. They can really just get out there. They don't have to wait like each other years. So they're going to be able to make it, where they need to go for this amount of whatever they gotta have. So they're definitely on the
very nice. All right, and going on to the next one, which I believe was still me as well. We have Jeremy Williams with Caradron Overlords with the name Top Gun Danger Zone Edition. Yes, I am making this army for real, and it isn't a tabletop simulator meme. So that's exciting to start with. Oh, sweet, we named them all. That is absolutely fantastic. Okay, so this is a new book. This is very exciting for me. So we went. We're 1970 points. We are the Engineers Guild Expeditionary Force. We're a 4-drop baby. We got Intercept and Recover and Master of the Pass. Who needs stinking magic and prayers? Fuck the gods. What did the gods do for us? We have science. The General's Regiment is an Arcanaut Admiral. Has bold as brass. Then we've got Maverick, a gunstruck gun hauler that has Coalbeard's collapsible bomb rack. Love it. Then we've got Goose. We've got Grunstock gun hauler. We got another one called Merlin. We got a 4th Grunstock gun hauler called Cougar. That's Squad 1. Regiment. The next regiment is Endrin Master and Endrin Harnessed with the Celestium Burst Grenade. Try to mess with. If I remember right, that was either the no ward save or it messes with your charges. If One of the two. It's gone through a few iterations, but kept the name. But it's got a unit of engine riggers to help repair everything. And then you've got another gun hauler called Iceman that has the deal breaker battling ram. And the next regiment, you've got an Arcanaut Admiral because you need to keep bringing heroes. And the heroes, by the way, are about 140 points, so 120, and the gun haulers are 140 each. This is great. So this squadron of gun haulers is Slider, Jester, and Viper. And then finally, we have the Scourge of Kyran Code Right to throw the book at him. We got our unit of Arconaut Company because you need the Arco to be able to hold an objective for 90 points. They're fantastic for it. And then finally, the last Grundstock gun hauler, Hollywood. He's bringing in the Zontari engine dock to repair everything and drop mines. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What is that? 9 gun haulers.
I love that. That's so fun.
It's 10 gun haulers to do the full squadron here. We live Top Gun, the danger zone. I love this so much, Jeremy. You've made my night. I really hope you won your first game. I hope you win this tournament. Jeremy, where are you?
Iceman. Okay. Iceman's gonna do it. I love it.
I love it.
What was
so
Jeremy
much.
doing?
Okay, Jeremy. I'm rooting for you, buddy.
That
is too good. That is fantastic. That is the energy we need to bring here.
That's fair. This is good. And Jeremy, if you guys have ever seen any of his work, we're gonna have him on the channel to speak at some point soon, just to talk about like his approach to incredibly thoughtful, beautiful, creative like conversion work, and then
what is he gonna do for this?
Oh, it would be.
Is it gonna be still the gun haul? It's gonna be like wicked paint jobs to be off of like all the stuff from Top Gun. It would
be probably converted with tons of Top Gun references built into the model in the paint job, and it would just look amazing. Like you would shake his hand if he beat you, shake his hand if you beat him, but just be happy that you got a chance to share the table. The very first time I ever played Jeremy in the real world, he had a giant converted polar bear, which was a stand-in for the big dragon from Stormcast Eternals and a bunch of converted like hussars, kind of like the old Kislevites.
It was the Kislev stuff. Remember you telling me about this?
Yeah, it was a Kislev thing. It felt like I was getting murdered by a monster from Golden Compass, and it was delightful.
Yeah. Oh, love that.
Little teaser.
Yeah. Then to take the energy down, this schmuck John Rocco's next.
Who's this guy?
With my Ideneth Deepkin, my list name is my other boater's a sea turtle.
Nice.
Because I love Shelly too much. Going with the Achillean Beastmasters again, +1 to hit on all my mount stuff is amazing. What did Eddie do? Hold on, I gotta look at what Eddie did. We gotta go back real quick.
He had some slight differences.
I know, he still hit Beastmaster. Okay, I'm not crazy because it's just you say it so many times and you get like dead to it. I'm a 3-drop. We're doing Lore of the Deeds. I'm also bringing Lore of the Abyss to bring my buddy Wet Willie, the new incarnate, for Deepkin. We're going Restless Energy and Wrathful Cycles, which is, again, really nice for me to score. Again, like taking an objective off of my opponent. I want to do that already, and then taking more than they have. That's great. And if I'm winning, I'm going to have all the objectives. It's crazy. My general's regiment is the Eidolon of Bathland, Aspect of the Sea. I gave him Form of the Fangmora and Armor of the Sathai because I wanted my Eidolon to live. Form of the Fangmora is you can only hit me on a 4-up. Nice. Armor of the Sathai is if I didn't charge you, you're -1 to hit me. So I really, really am because the thing is, a lot of like monsters hit on a 4-up. You've got a lot of distraction that hit on 4s up. If I could make that a 5, that's great. If I could make things that normally hit on 2s hit me on 4s instead, that's even better.
I'm there for it. I see the value of this shenanigans.
Yeah, and so many times in my games, it's the Eidolon lives. I can teleport them out to go and steal an objective and be slippery and have a good time. Again, I like some defense on my Eidolon. I have two min units of Fishlayan Guard. These are the defensive fields. They have saved my bacon every time, and I've almost always more than doubled their points back to me because what they do is, as an ability, each combat phase, I roll a dice, and on a 3-up, you're -1 attack on your profiles. And it's great having two units that run around and doing this to save my bacon. It allows them to overpower units that they should have no business fighting. Also, when they charge in, they get a 5-up ward. It's nice. And then the final unit in my general's regiment is a reinforced unit of Morsar Guard, the offensive eels, who again are still really killy. They had an adjustment to the Mortal Wounds app, so it's more consistent, but it doesn't spike up to be D3 per eel
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah, makes sense. Makes perfect sense.
Which again is still fine. We're still shooting for probably like 4 to 5 mortal wounds out of the unit when it charges in, if it's charging a unit that's bigger than it. Um, and again, nice. So got all my eels there. Then my next regiment is Mathalia, Oracle of the Abyss, because of all the things I said before for Eddie.
All the same reasons, all the same stuff. Talked about her, so we got her.
Again, make those Morsar Guard even killier, because the thing is, the rider of the eel kind of doesn't matter anymore, because the riders all wound on 4s, but the eels themselves are super killy. So buffing those up is great. Like
you said, they're riding sea monsters, man. That's what they get all the work done.
You're damn right. We got Shelly Baby Girl, the Achillean Leviathan in this regiment, as well as a unit of Namarti Reavers, because I like them as a screen. They are short range shooting, which is great. And it's still like 21 shots for a unit of 10 of them that crit auto wound. So they can take out a screen for me generally pretty reliably. And then my last regiment is an icon of the sea.
Not the storm.
Not the storm, not the retreater. This is I'm full sending it. We are going crazy. We are aggro. This is okay, so I'm going to pull this all up here. So I ain't telling stories outside of school. For 130 points, Jack, we got the title Glaive. Also 6 health, 4 up save, 7-inch move, which is really nice. Also, Mathalia moves like 10 inches. It is okay in a fight. She can't take a hit, but she can actually hurt somebody. We got 5 attacks, 3s to hit, 3s to wound, which should be the standard Achillean stat block, if you ask me, but whatever. Ren 1, 2 damage base, but gets +1 damage on the charge. Its passive is this unit can always run and still charge, which is amazing. And then once per turn in my charge phase, I can pick a friendly unit within my combat range of the hero. Add 1 to the number of dice rolled when making a charge to the maximum of 3. So we get that 3d6 hot charge on those eels running up, moving 14. If I do this on a run and charge turn, that is a 20-inch move and a 3d6 charge. I can go from corner of the table edge to almost the other corner. It's a corner to corner. Fuck it. Yeah, because that would be 38 inches of movement that I could do with these eels. That's crazy. That's ridiculous. And you know what happened? He died like a punk.
As it's the worst moment, just sitting there and the shell got cracked and smacked by the Grand Hammer 13-inch charge.
No, Jack, it's not even that too, because I forgot that power through was a thing. He got pinned by a prosecutor that he failed to kill with his 5 attacks. So he had 1 wound. And then he got run down by more Grand Hammers. And yeah, no, it was rough. It was rough. He was one of the hunt targets too for so like I could have just been gone and never have had him in danger, and said he would have been, because I'm using him also as a character assassinator as well to go and take out a 5 wound hero. Because again, it's 3 damage a swing. If 2 of those connect, life is really good. He can go toe to toe with some other stuff, and again, it's also, you get to a point at the end of a game, right? Where it's like, cool, if I could make this charge, I might have to teleport 9 inches away. I might have to, run up and try to. The fact that it could run and charge, and the fact that it's a 3d6 charge on himself, when everyone knows to redeploy away from when you teleport somewhere to show up, is huge. And that is what this guy is for. He is my late game piece of tech.
I like that. I like that a lot. See, because there's something there to having like a piece designed for like, let's come out of the woodwork. It's turn 4 or 5. We need to get something done.
Yes.
Or any options to it. I know that, call back to some of the stuff I was alluding to in my own list. When you need to get to something and they're going to teleport away, or maybe not teleport away, but like redeploy away. Yeah, get to the extra movement, even the dirty 3d6, where you just take the best 2 off of the Slanesh mark and make that difference sometimes.
Yeah. Sometimes you need it. And whether it's, popping up a Nurgling late in the game too, you need to go and plan to play. Some armies now play all 5 rounds. Deepkin, for the longest time, round 3 was the end of your game. There was in my one game with him in the tournament too, what I did was I started because we have 2 tides now in Deepkin. They're 3 rounds each, and then you could choose to flip over the other one, but you have to start at the first stage. And you can keep flipping back and forth if you want. And that's what I did. I started at -1 to be hit. Then the second round, I got a teleport for one of my units to a table edge. And I stole objectives. It was really good. It kept me in the game. Actually, as much as the first turn hurt me, where I lost a bunch of points of stuff and then it was bad. And I basically, like, between the first couple combat phases, lost like 900 points in my army. I was up in points, as crazy as it was. And then I played keep away, and then I only lost by it was 70 to 64, and somehow with also failing horrible charge. The only charges I really made was the Icon of the Sea made an 18-inch charge on his first roll. It was great. Again, didn't kill the guy on 1 wound, but still, shit happened.
He knew how to run.
He did. He did. Again, it worked as intended. And it's one of those things that now I'm going more into movement tricks. And even in my loss, I still scored more than a lot of the wins. Which is something that I was looking at. Which is really cool.
I think that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. No.
We're on to something with all this stuff. Yeah. I like your list. I like your list, Rocco. I mean, of course.
It's time to submarine. I'm going to kick Mason's ass.
Yeah,
I'm going to get revenge for the last time his flesh eater courts kicked my Deepkin's ass. Yeah.
Well, this is a good stopping point, I think, for this first of 2 list review episodes. We've gone through 12 of the 24 lists and given you all out there a taste of the cool stuff that we're running around and running into with this particular
GT. 24 people, including the hosts and the Patreons, into this thing, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, not a bad showing, and a lot of fun so far.
We're here for you, the community, with this. Yeah. It's really cool.
Through round 2.
Yeah, make it through round 2. I'm actually supposed to play Mason at time of recording tomorrow, so we'll see. He never got back to me with the time, just that tomorrow worked. So wow. Might have something to report for when we record part 2 of this.
Seriously? Well, there's something to look forward to there. We'll have to report back on how it went. Did Shelley do her thing, or did Mason have his way?
Dun, dun, dun.
Well, guys, thanks all for joining us out there. If you haven't already and you haven't heard us say this endlessly, or without my voice or Rocco's recorded voice,
run the commercial, Matt.
Do all the things. Run the commercial, Matt. Try to voice over. I'm buying the shorts. Those are magic. But beyond that, until next time, and really the question is just, who's going to have the last word? Is it Shelley?
Is it?
Couldn't find the button that time.
I don't know. No, you have to say, Matt, keep this in. It's okay.
Hello, everybody. It is Rocco, your boy, coming at you once again with another Always Strikes Last promo. That's right. Ring that bell. Leave a like, a subscribe. On whatever platform you're listening to us on, be it YouTube, be it Podbean, whatever you got these days, so you can keep up to date. Don't forget, we have the Patreon, if you want to, give us a thank you for all the stuff we put out. That gets you into our member-exclusive Discord. And if you want to be an even bigger supporter, we've got a merch store.